fire on the hoof, that dread red steer, running circles round cocky squares. A couple of deadly kids with a box of redheads, the arcing sparks the spars net poles sheds. Mr. Nobody Troll, a ticking gorge, comes in his hide on a red steer ride, out of a DSE burn that gets away, or the angle grinder's golden spray. He commonly breaks out on a Sunday when the roast is ready in the tray. He's been known to hop from pot for got of porridge. And how's this? One Sunday in Boho, the red steer gets out of a friggin' fridge, out of a bar fridge, ridgy didge, and gives the camperman's legs a couple of licks. And hi-ho, he's rambling ridge to ridge, from the Harries to the Honeysuckle Creeks, taking the time to wither the greens, poor bloody Anglo exotics. Then all along, down along the Sawpit Gully Road he scram, leaving Nev and Michael in the slip-on, lost in the smothering smoke that tastes of roast lamb. The wind drops and the red steer takes a breather. Cross Jackson's he can hardly be blowed to go nibbling and crackling his way up the upper Boho Road. There's a rank of tankers lining up below, Badaguinea, Balmaden, Boho, like taxis waiting for fares to the fire. They're not going nowhere soon, but waiting for the word from higher up the hierarchy. Standing orders decree, in perilous situations of considerable logistical complexity, safety first, sit tight, she'll be right, the Red Cross is sending up tea, as is the VT Ladies Auxiliary. We're not here to save the fire trap lifestyle property of every whacker greenie from here to Marrawini, says someone. Smithy says, someone's mum said hundreds of McMuffins have been dumpstered. No one's tipped us the wink they was there, Smithy says. That sort of thing. The depth of this system's analysis, a good brew and egg and lettuces, has increased the brigade's paralysis. The red steer's up at Murphy's, grazing slow, circling close to burdens. Still, the wind is low. Now it's some at home in the Bogey Hills are not the joining kind, not rat bags as they're rated, but of an independent mind. They don't wear the yellow clobber of the CFA, nor its top-down command, its corporate military way, with flash young men in uniform, white vans on salary with orders incomprehensible bloody bull, to pass it on retard rustics with no bloody clue or access to computer model data making do on local so-called knowledge of unquantifiable and unverifiable low class, which, if known, could stop the top commanding talking out its arse. The pale cast of thought settles over the fiery crews, watching the red steer's tongue lick where they choose, waiting as planned in an orderly queue for news to trickle down from the top, if there was a channel for it to get through, about the authorised view of what precisely these tankers should do. Fuck this for a joke, says Burdens and Co. Why leave the red steer free to go? He's not that hot to trot, nice and low and slow. Not talking Linton here, you know. Now's the time to do what the old man's always done. Backburn, 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 son. Piece of piss to stop the red steer across the road, to starve him off the hill from the line of our fence. Here and now, boys, we can do more than elders for less expense, with just a box of matches and some good cocky sense. If we take the boho tanker before the wind starts to blow and cut the bastard off up the upper boho road, fire the Polaris to burn uphill and make a break. Can you blokes, jump on, let's go. Can Dino, gun the hino. Fight a big red steer with a little red steer and do-si-do. No! Out of the smoke, a white van and a little bald man appear. Says the little bald man, no, this cannot be, cannot possibly be. You do not have the authority. We have to check with the actuary. We have not established with certainty whether in the event of a falling tree further up the track and on unknown ground, There's a room for a tanker to turn around. Pig's ass, says Nev. I know this road. It's every turning. I've walked the land beside it. I own the land that's burning. There's plenty of spots with turning space. Connie's the lookout, the whacker's place. Connie's the lookout, the whacker's place. Ah, forget the boho tanker. Lend us some knapsacks. We'll get on the old Shank's pony and make tracks. So it's back to the 70s, when the brigade was 8 long hairs hanging off the willies. Ah, the 70s, with boys on bikes bringing refills up in carro cans and billies. They fought the red steer with wet sacks on sticks, knapsacks, plus the know-how, know-who, nowhere of generations of Darrells, Kerrys, Allens and all, still at their stations, living through their own personal 70s. The heart's core of a mob of local yokels, young and old, with all the knacks who know the tracks, the law, the bottom and fact of the technocratic top, at our peril chooses to ignore. Cut the yak, whacker, you said all that before. Now you blokes, how about some knapsacks? Fair crack, against standing orders, mate. How do we know you'll bring 'em back? Jesus! Mates of the boho boys, nab them knapsacks, never fear. With a red boho moon arising, they wrangle the red steer and drive 'em clear out of there. And cool young man from sector command, going forward in a new white van, comes down from the top to the bottom, and for defiance of standing orders, giving comfort to a bunch of ratbags, putting lives and property in jeopardy, issues an official reprimand.